and sugar. For soap, as we wait for the expanded palm oil production, which takes longer. But sunflower takes only 4 months. For bread, we can use our banana and cassava flour for bread making, apart from eating the traditional foods.
Museveni says the problem of high commodity prices will be solved using existing knowledge.
A serious problem solver would cluster the commodities with high prices into 2 categories. The imported ones on the one hand, and the locally produced ones on the other hand. You must do that. You must say these commodities with high prices, which are the ones which are imported? Because those are more dangerous. Those are more dangerous. They are the ones which can take away all the blood and you remain dry.
He adds that there is need to greatly understand the challenge and how to handle it correctly. Some commentators had called for the removal of taxes on some of the commodities as a measure in dealing with this scourge, but according to Museveni, this is catastrophic.
If we subsidize or even just remove the taxes on imported commodities, the level of consumption will either remain the same, but this time each liter taking more dollars, or actually increase. So this idea of mtukwatireko, subsidize, or even remove the taxes, if the purchasing level remains the same, this dollar now, as you saw, has gone from 1.3. This liter has gone from $1.3 to 1.48. It has gone. So it's the same 1 liter, but it is taking more from your pocket and from our reserves.
On the issue of petrol and diesel, President Museveni indicated that they are engaging the Western actors.
This was among these people. We would rather persuade them so that we continue with our plan. Our plan is for infrastructure, for what? And try to persuade these people to please remove your artificial problem. If they agree, good. If they don't, we create a higher base for ourselves, where we can say, bye-bye, you can continue with your own things, we are safer.
He reassured Ugandans that working with fellow African nations, Uganda and Africa, will be prosperous. However, the president pointed out the serious dangers to Uganda's future, noting that these are reliance on rain-fed agriculture, damaging the environment, and the nuclear war among the countries whom he called troublemakers. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni addressed the nation on Sunday, the 22nd of May, on the current economic situation in the country. The address followed the country's economic challenges, attributed partly to the COVID-19 pandemic and the Ukraine-Russia conflict. He urged Ugandans to substitute imports with locally produced goods, among other items. But Ugandans seem to believe the address failed to focus on ways to survive amid tough economic times.
Saakulabyemu kintu kyonna kye kugenda kukyusa. Ebintu byonna bigenda kusigala nga bwe biri kubanga twali tusobola okukendezaako ku bbeeyi oba y'amafuta.
Tukyali tuli kale bwerebwe etegeeza twatubulamu tusinge bwa Katonda. Gavumenti yaffe yandibadde efaayo nnyo mu butuufu neetalwana tuzza wansi
batusitula okutuzza waggulu bafuba at least okulaba nga bwe baba balemereddwa okutuzimbira factories mwe tusobola okujja emirimu at least batuleke batuwe emirembe mu mirimu egyaffe gye tukola wakati ku ssaawa ya leero nvuga boda waneno ku mini price naye essaawa yonna omusajja ajja nakukwata n'agamba nti waneno tolina kukolerawo
kati fe abavu batugoba ku street baagala bagaga bokka bwe bakola ki ab'amaduka bye baba bakola
gera ku bbeeyi y'ebintu neyeyongera okukka omwavu afunemu kuba kati bo bwe bateesa tebateesa ku biyamba ffe ng'abantu.
So Excellence President Museveni ze ndudde nga ngojja ngobera ebigambo bye yayogera ebigambo bisatu nga tuli ebukoma kimbi nga nkyagadinga ebukoma kimbi nga ndi mwevefuyu n'agamba ekyo tusooka okuteeka okuuma ente ya kitaawe n'ennyina yagikuuma okuteeka Katonda amazima eddembe ly'obuntu n'okukuuma mukazi wo n'abaana bo n'emikono n'abatakwagala kyenava mwagala kuba naye abantu musajja mugezi era ategeera bulungi.
First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has urged women in Uganda to set goals that will be celebrated whenever they gather every 8th March for the International Women's Day commemoration. She tipped women to have a specific program to achieve every year with a goal to develop families. Mrs. Museveni was officiating at the belated Women's Day celebrations for Rwampara district at Bugamba Secondary School playground.
The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has urged women in Uganda to set goals which will be celebrated whenever they gather for the International Women's Day commemoration every 8th of March.
Celebrating izooba ly'abakazi buli mwaka. Emyokufa okucelebratinga kushitama hamwe tukagamba izooba lyaitu kumwa kugira program yanyu ya buri mwaka mukayikiriza theme mukuza kukora omwaka ogu mukajya ngo hati ntuza kukora eki omwaka ogu omumaka gaitu rero mukakikorera omwaka ogu mwena.
Mrs. Museveni was officiating at the belated Women's Day celebrations for Rwampara district at Bugamba Secondary School playground. It was the second time Mrs. Museveni officiated at a belated Women's Day celebration in a space of 2 days after the earlier one for Ntungamo district, which took place at Chamate Senior Secondary School in Ntungamo municipality. She commended the unity exhibited by the women leaders and legislators in the region and urged them to use it positively to further impact the lives of the people in their respective areas. Mrs. Museveni appreciated the women members of parliament for Rwampara, Honorable Molly Asimwe, for spearheading development in the area. She contributed 20 million Uganda shillings towards the establishment of a skilling center in Rwampara started by Mrs. Molly Asimwe to skill women and girls who drop out of school.
Mukama Asimwe, enamba yanyu yoyonka neyoreka rukundo murimwe neyoreka ngo numukorera hamwe niyenda kumsima more yebari kwisha okahereza abagwampara umusindo n'abagenzi bawe ba members ba parliament mwebare koreka okukorera hamwe ekirwanyisiriza yarwanirire ekyemanyisa unity niyegeye mumbekire Rwampara niyo rukuhinda Rwampara twena twagire bantu bajurira hati.
About proper nurturing of the girl child, which has been her appeal to parents in the region, the First Lady called upon members of parliament and other leaders to join the national campaign which was launched in December 2021 to mobilize society against the growing evils of teenage pregnancies. According to Mrs. Museveni, the campaign, supported by UNICEF and UNFPA, was launched after reports showed that owing to the COVID-19 induced lockdowns, many girls had gotten pregnant, became teenage mothers, others acquired sexually transmitted diseases like HIV and AIDS, and many have not managed to return to school.
Ngumore na bagenzi be nk'uko baryaha abakazi mwabahurira buri omwe yaba nagambaho ebigambo bye bishoborokire mbwena abakazi ba Uganda ruhanga abahire omugisha buzima mwabahurira n'abakazi babebembezi haza mbwenu naba nimbendeza munonga nkumwa kukora program ejo buri omwe mu constituency nimwija kureba difference yeru kukora instead of celebrating Women's Day mutaine specific program eyimu celebrating buri mwaka.
A total of 54 million shillings was mobilized, of which 44 million was in cash and 10 million pledges. The Minister of Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, promised 10 computers to the Skilling Center. Honorable Mole Asimwe, the woman member of Parliament, Rampara, appreciated President Yoweri Museveni for appointing women to various posts and high offices, starting with the Honorable Vice President, the Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, Permanent Secretaries, to mention but a few, saying,
Nkusima kutwariza je muzeyi okamretera okunda abakazi manya kuri nomutwariza kubi n'abakazi bakamutamire agira atazi kiri kuntama n'omukazi atwime entebe konka kuwabere ekyo kureberaho kirungi yagira ati omukazi abe vice president ati nonkwenda kukoragana nawe ati omukazi abe prime minister ati omukazi aze omu ministries z'amaani.
Priscilla Namara reporting.
Police has asked politicians with plans of holding demonstrations over the surging commodity prices to abide by the provision of the Public Order Management Act. Police spokesperson Fred Enanga was briefing the media at Naguru Police Headquarters. Enanga said that police will ensure security for pilgrims who are coming in to Namugongo from different parts of the country and outside.
Police has learnt of joint plans by politicians to hold demonstrations over the surging fuel and commodity prices.
They have to abide by the provisions of the Public Order Management Act, and we shall definitely counter the retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye if he engages himself with whichever other political groups into acts of illegal assembly. And
Police spokesperson has also revealed that there is an influx of Congolese refugees at Bunagana border. The Inspector General of Police has instructed all territorial commanders to offer security to pilgrims moving to Namugongo.
They have to ensure that the pilgrims have habitable places for sleeping. They usually take their rest at schools, churches, and community centers, so they have to ensure that these places are actually habitable. They also have to restrict the movement of pilgrims under the cover of darkness, since it is risky, and identify those who cannot endure the journey so that they are screened out and given medical attention.
Police has also sent condolences to the National Unity Platform for the loss of its members in the Omoro accident. Fred Enanga says focus is now on the resting day where no politicians will be allowed to campaign, and promised full security on the 84 polling stations.
We shall be on the lookout for door-to-door final push campaigns that are prohibited. There are usually acts of intimidation and threats that are very common on this day, of negative propaganda, media manipulation, political motivated violence. So we are on the lookout for all these.
Deputy Police spokesperson Luke Owesigire has also confirmed restraining Dr. Kiza Besigye from his home as they monitor the situation.
He still has an ongoing campaign of coming to Kampala on foot to protest the skyrocketing prices and other commodities. And that is what he had embarked on, and we had to block him, and in the process of blocking him, there was a physical altercation between him and our officers, and we had to restrain him.
Police is looking for Pastor Samuel Kalibala in Nama, Mityana, alleged to have disappeared with 7 members of one family and 20 others. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Court of Appeal has reconfirmed NRM's Nsegumire Mohammed Chibedi as the duly elected Member of Parliament for Mityana North constituency. Justices of the Court of Appeal said that the appellant, Dr. Gordon Sematiko Katende, failed to prove to court that the respondent's electoral commission and Nsegumire participated in the election irregularities. The petition was dismissed with costs to the appellant.
Justices of Court of Appeal Geoffrey Chiriawire, Stephen Musota, and Justice Christopher Gashirabake have dismissed Nopu's Dr. Gordon Sematiko's appeal petition and reconfirmed the NRM's Nsegumire Muhammad Chibedi as a duly elected Member of Parliament for Mityana North constituency. In the judgment read by the Court of Appeal Registrar Susan Kenyange, justices said the appellant failed to prove with evidence to court.
It's clear that the trial judge cannot be faulted for failing to evaluate the evidence. We accordingly find no merit in grounds 4 and 6 of appeal. Conclusion: having found no merit in any of the grounds of appeal raised by the appellant, and for the reasons we've given in this judgment, we dismiss this appeal with the following orders. This appeal is on all grounds laid out in the memorandum of appeal dismissed. The judgment, decree and orders entered against the appellant by the land trial judge are confirmed and upheld. The first respondent is confirmed as the duly elected Member of Parliament for Mityana North constituency.
In Mubende, the High Court Judge Emmanuel Baguma also dismissed with cost Dr. Gordon Sematiko Katende's petition against Nsegumire Muhammad Chibedi when he failed to prove to court that the respondents participated in vote bribery. Dr. Gordon Sematiko Katende in court alleged that Nsegumire Muhammad participated in election irregularities at different polling stations. Although Dr. Gordon Sematiko alleged to court that a one Jenny Kaitale, one of Nsegumire's agents, gave out money to voters, he also failed to prove this to court. NRM's Nsegumire Muhammad Chibedi is now the Mityana North constituency duly elected Member of Parliament.
Let us work together, because I'm not going to be an MP of a certain group. I'm an MP for the whole of Mityana North constituency. All people in Mityana North constituency, regardless of political affiliations, religion or tribe, I'm their leader, I'm their MP. So it is high time that we start working now.
Meanwhile, the same court has also confirmed Nancy Achora as a duly elected Member of Parliament for Lama Woman seat.
We also find that this is not a fit and proper case to validate an appeal or to enlarge time, because no sufficient cause has been shown to warrant extension of time. The application to validate the appeal is therefore dismissed, with each party bearing its own costs.
Court dismissed NRM's Morela Nyero's appeal petition challenging Nancy Ochora's victory for a woman Member of Parliament seat.
All the 3 judges, I don't know them. I've never met them, because even the hearing in Court of Appeal, it was done when I was in Indonesia for IPU meeting. So I want to say that God did it for me. And I know God will continue doing it for the people of Lamu. I am so excited.
Judge Tade Wasim of High Court Gulu also declined to nullify Nancy Achora's victory when he dismissed NRM's Morela Nyero's petition due to lack of evidence to prove to court that Achora and the Electoral Commission participated in vote bribery and that they interfered with the elections. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugude, UBC News.
We thank you so much for watching. Let's take a very short break. On return, we have more. It's UBC News tonight.
Have waka, you bust the eyes through me about him. my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo.
Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
Football packages, great entertainment,
sports, the local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Everybody, Go TV. This is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Ugandan shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Even with my grandson, a doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day. He began to work day and night. He wouldn't quit, even when people said no. He wouldn't stop fighting. He knew something had to change, and his vision was bigger than anyone could imagine. He made it possible to receive quality medical services anywhere in Uganda by simply using a phone.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you or call or SMS 162.
Airtel, the smartphone network. The Oil and Gas Moment, brought to you by Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey. In order to be contracted to supply goods and services for oil activities in Uganda, you must register on the National Suppliers Database. Between 2017 and 2021, close to 400 Ugandan entities were awarded various contracts to supply goods and services to the sector.
Tech Lab Limited is a geosciences company that has been offering geotechnical and geophysical investigation services to the East African market since its inception in 2002. Our experience working with Ama Energy has been a pleasurable one. The seismic surveys have always been on our radar, and when this opportunity came up, we put together a winning bid and became the first Ugandan company to provide seismic services under an oil and gas contract in Uganda.
Registration on the National Suppliers Database is free. Visit www.pau.go.ug, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
UBC News Tonight. The National Unity Platform offices in Omoro district have closed at the last moment of campaigns as the district mobilizers crossed to the ruling NRM camp. The supporters who were received by the NRM Secretary General Richard Todwong say that they crossed in order to stand with the NRM candidate Ojok since they are still mourning his dead father Jacob Olanya. Philip Aguta is on Omoro and he has this story.
With only 1 day remaining for the campaigns for Omoro County by-elections to close, top NUP mobilizers in the 3 sub-counties of Omoro crossed to NRM to support the candidate Andrew Ojok Olanya. They say it is rude to mobilize against someone who has just lost a dad.
Mourning for our fallen speaker. So we have decided to support his son, who is contesting under the party of NRM. That is all.
The offices for the red-colored party in Omoro was later closed. The NRM Secretary General Richard Todong welcomed the NUP mobilizers and pledged to work with them in the remaining one day to deliver victory for the NRM candidate.
Ourselves, these were young people who are conducting and running the NUP campaign in Odek sub-county, in Achet sub-county, and in Lalugi sub-county. These are the leaders that we have today accepted with them that they should come and support our candidate, and as you were following the meeting, they have accepted to come. Many of them were NRM supporters who were disappointed with the internal wrangles within NRM that forced them to cross to other parties. So when we explain and talk to them, they have since come back home, and we are very happy with what they have shown. And we did this in very many sub-counties where we have been going. And so we've defined our messages very well to the population. They have understood what we stand for. They have understood the purpose of electing the NRM. And we believe that come 26th of this month, we shall win the election.
Last day for campaigns for the candidates is tomorrow, Tuesday, and it is the day Museveni is expected to drum support for the NRM candidate in the race. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Omoro.
Retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye today spent the day in a police van at his home in Kasangati after attempts to leave his home to continue the protests against high commodity prices. While addressing journalists, the former presidential candidate and leader of the People's Front for Transition said that government should reduce expenditure to mitigate the high commodity prices.
While addressing journalists at his home in Kasangati, Dr. Kiza Besigye advised the government cut on its expenditure to help on high commodity prices in the country. Besigye was responding to President Museveni's address yesterday on continued rise of commodity prices.
Cutting the government expenditure. We have 461 councillors in Kampala here. 461 councillors. The one who earns the least earns about 3.8 million. Of those others earn about 7 million. The councillors. Parliament. That massive unnecessary expenditure. He did not touch.
After the address, FDC former presidential candidate and People's Front for Transition leader attempted to move out of his home, but a police van blocked the way. After some time, Dr. Besigye moved out of the car but was forcefully bundled in the waiting police van, where he spent the rest of the day.
I'm not going back home. Are we under arrest? I am not going back home. I'm not going back. My home is not a prison. My home is not.
UBC News Tonight. Forum for Democratic Change Party has called upon Ugandans to examine the financial year's budget passed by Parliament, which does not offer immediate solutions to the rising cost of living in Uganda. The 48 trillion shillings budget meant to be distributed to all sectors will pay debts worth 16.3 trillion shillings, which will consequently maintain taxes on essential goods.
Following the passing of the 2022-2023 financial budget by Parliament, whose structure announces no subsidy on critical items, Forum for Democratic Change wants Parliament to revise it in order to ease people's lives.
The FDC would like to invite Ugandans to critically examine this budget because it will and it is going to affect their lives. This budget does not offer immediate solutions to the problems afflicting the country, and that is the high cost of living. So this budget proposes no solution, which was passed by Parliament.
The budget, from which 16.3 trillion shillings has been reserved for debt repayment, pushes Ugandans to pay higher taxes.
The biggest item on the budget, which Minister of Finance tactically called treasury operations, which is money actually to manage your debt as a country, is now 16.3. That is money, 16.3 trillion shilling. That is the money to manage Uganda's debt.
In another development, FDC is gearing up for the Omoro County by-election and is optimistic that their candidate will emerge victorious.
Before going into Omoro, the FDC leaders were in the whole of northern Uganda, starting with Lida, Apache, Acholi and Western Nile, holding mobilization meetings with FDC leaders and those who stood in the last elections. So when this mobilization ended, they are now in Omoro.
Joshua Kagor, Juman Samba, UBC News.
The FDC party candidate for Omoro County by-election who failed to be nominated due to alleged abduction by unknown people is accusing some of his party members for conniving with the abductors.
The 56-year-old Dick Dennis Awani claims he was abducted on Wednesday along Bobby Aboke Road in Adieda village in Bobby sub-county and accuses two of his party members for being behind the abduction.
I want to be honest and I want to be very clear that two people who had been behind my failure, who had been conniving with NRM, Honorable Francisco Awori Wadok, and Honorable Nyapolo Rose, were the people who were spreading all these lies, which I want to clearly tell them that if they were in support of my colleague, Engineer Terence Odonga, they should have not spoiled my name to this extent. Can they avail the evidence? Where and when did I receive that 150? And through what means?
Derek Dennis Owani says these are the two people spreading lies that he was bribed.
Phone? Is it through, I received it from a hotel, off on the roadside, or where? Let them avail the evidence. That is when the people will know the truth that Dick Dennis Owani did not receive any money from anybody.
What Doc Francisco Awori urged Dick Dickens Owani to be accountable to what he had done to the people of Omoro County.
Everywhere in Omoro, everywhere, not only in Omoro, even in the country, that Mr. Owani received a bribe, was almost 150 million. But I want to advise him politely, kindly, as a brother would, that he should be accountable if really he received. I'm not saying he received. If at all he received, he should be accountable for his sin committed against the party. Than bringing anybody, an innocent Ugandan like me, a responsible citizen like me, on a nonsense issues, on perpetual background.
The prominent member of Forum for Democratic Change, who is also former contestant for the Omoro District Chairman in the last general election, says Dick Dennis Owani is confused.
Very unfortunate to hear somebody, a gentleman like me, to be involved in a kidnap. It will never happen. I believe, I'm thinking Owani must have a mental problem, or being accountable for what he received is a challenge to him. So he wants to bring people. My own understanding, I am feeling and alleging that Mr. Owani received a bribe, but he's only trying, he's only shame. He has a public shame, so he wants to bring people around so that he appears someone innocent, yet he's not an innocent person. He should have a time, apologize to the party, apologize to the people of Omoro, and apologize to Uganda.
The current candidates for the Omoro by-election, Odong Justin Obia, says FDC as the party is aware that Dick Dennis Owani was kidnapped and all his original academic documents were confiscated.
So we still rely on what he has told us. But if he has received the money for us as a party, we have not yet proved whether he has received or he has not received. But now, that one is now, we cannot put more effort because the matter is there in the police.
After alleged abduction of the official candidates of Forum for Democratic Change, on short notice fronted Odong Justin Obia as the official candidate.
Be alert. Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or SIM swaps are done at clearly branded Airtel shops and not on phone. To report any fraudulent activity, please call 100 immediately. The official calling number for Airtel promotions is 0200 100 100. Stay alert on Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Water gives life. Water is life. But not all water is created equal. Refresh yourself with the new quality Nirvana packaged drinking water and fuel you and your passion to go further in life.
Visit a shop near you and grab a 250 ml at 500 shillings, 500 ml at 1000 shillings, 1.5 liters at 2000 shillings, or the 20-liter jumbo bottle at 19,000 shillings. Nirvana is a product of Crown Beverages Limited, the makers of Pepsi products.
The Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is back on Sunday, 3rd July 2022 at Lubiri Mengo. This year, the run will be physical and will be flagged off by Sabasaja Kabaka at 7 a.m. Come out in large numbers once again to Lubiri Mengo. Run for a cause to fight and end HIV by 2030. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops at Tobani Center, New Taxi Park, ShopRite Building, Benchwanka Street, Majestic Brands Office at Bulange Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185 *5 hash. Select Payments, select Kabaka Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is brought to you by UNAID, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome to UBC Business News tonight. Kasese district is an emerging economy, fast growing with the population embracing agriculture. Ivan Kaho reports, endowed with natural resources, leaders are taking advantage to attract revenue about the nature of Kasese.
Kasese district in western Uganda has natural resources ranging from rivers, Lakes George and Edward, salt mining, cobalt and limestone, Queen Elizabeth, Mount Rwenzori and Chibale National Parks.
So we are a vibrant district. We are basically an agriculture based.
With a growing population of over 1 million people, agriculture, mining and agro-industrialization is a lead to economic transformation in the district.
We have a conducive agricultural climate where the people are capable to grow coffee from within all the sub-counties except those of the lower land.
This agro-industrialization, once we do it very well, it will help us solve the question of food security. Food security here and the whole of Uganda is an issue, and we the leaders need to keep it in mind and plan for it accordingly.
The introduction of emerging high-value crops from the phasing out cotton is picking up both on large and small-scale production.
Like growing of mangoes, growing of apples, growing of vanilla, growing of the growth of pineapples also picked up.
Kasese district borders with DR Congo, where cross-border trade, transportation of merchandise and free movement of people will stimulate business.
The two countries are working together to improve roads from the border to Butembo, to Beni, and eventually to Kisangani, so that we can access the markets into DRC at a lower cost.
Kasese district is located in 3 belts: the mountainous, the hilly terrain, and the lowland. It is fast growing with 27 sub-counties, 14 town councils, 1 municipality with 3 divisions, most of which are connected to water and electricity.
Help me for light, and if I want to drink cold water, I will drink.
On the overall, senior citizens advise adopting zonal development as key in enhancing growth.
I think it's good to exploit that advantage, okay? By saying, okay, you people in that area don't go into so many crops. The ones which will do best in your area, which are also high value, are these. Government has already said that, say, the crops are these. But the next step is also to facilitate that. facilitate that. Where irrigation can be done, let us do irrigation.
Ivan Kahwa and Ahabiona Francisco, UBC News in Kasese district.
MTN and stakeholders have launched a campaign to protect against mobile money fraudsters who track digital technology users and have stolen their money through asking for mobile money PIN codes. The nationwide campaign is spearheaded by Pastor Martin Semba.
The fight against mobile money fraud incidents, MTN Uganda and civil rights activists have embarked on a nationwide Stop Buffet campaign to create awareness on mobile money fraud and protect the public against mobile money fraudsters.
Your PIN is your money. Don't share your mama PIN. Your PIN is your money.
They cautioned the public against sharing mobile money PIN and called upon the public to be vigilant, cautious, and double-check all information before performing any mobile money transaction.
Just like everybody has learned to protect their cash, just like everybody has learned to protect their bank accounts, mobile money also needs to be protected. And it can be done very simply, okay? Please understand that the mobile money PIN is your biggest security.
Don't share your PIN. Your PIN is your money. Many people don't know that digital money is what? Digital money.
SomDev has attributed the increasing number of fraudsters to socially engineered techniques that the fraudsters employ to lure unsuspecting mobile money customers.
There is no agency, okay, who would ever ask for your PIN. There is no reason why MTN will never ever, okay, for any reason ask for your PIN number.
At the same time, Ugandans have been cautioned to stop expecting prizes from which they did not work for.
Okay, so there are means by which you can double check. Always double check, okay? If somebody calls you up and says that you have suddenly won $1 million shillings, okay? Please double check.
The campaign is on the theme, don't share your mobile money PIN, your PIN is your money. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
Government has urged Ugandan investors and businesses to take advantage of the Uganda-DRC investment promotion and market access to enhance regional trade. State Minister for Finance, Investment and Privatization Evelyn Anit emphasizes that the DRC market for the promotion of Uganda's services and products towards building the country's economy.
Uganda and DRC have bilateral relations, and with DRC joining the East African community, this improves trade between the two countries.
The new EAC now offers a combined market-driven economy of approximately 300 million people with a GDP of $243. DRC alone has a huge market with the potential of 90 million people who have now joined the fraternity of EAC.
Bank of Uganda statistics indicate that Uganda earns about $250 million annually from exports to DRC that include cement, food and beverages, oil, sugar, among others.
According to January 2021 data from Bank of Uganda, Kampala's exports alone to DRC were $74.3 million in the same month, up from approximately $30 million in December 2021, representing a 44% growth.
With the upcoming Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo's investment promotion and market expo and summit, Ugandan businesses stand to gain more, with the manufacturing, commercial agriculture and services businesses being the greater beneficiaries.
So we are looking at Ugandans who are in manufacturing, and I emphasize Ugandans or companies that are established in Uganda. If you have registered your company in Uganda and you're in value addition, you're manufacturing any product in Uganda, you will be going with us. But our government, as always, is going to support the private sector. This time we will be the one to offer all the visas for all the participants who will be traveling with us.
The planned summit will accelerate business and transform Uganda as the investment and trade hub for the region.
Let's target getting dollars from the Democratic Republic
of Congo and nothing else. Once we fetch the dollars, the economy of Uganda will move at the highest level.
The Uganda-DRC Investment Promotion and Market Access Expo and Summit will take place in Kinshasa from the 27th to the 29th of June. Charlotte Amuge and Grace Kemigisa for UBC News.
Jennifer, Jukila, Wewagamba, I don't have waka. You passed the eyes through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo.
Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
UBC Sports News tonight. Team Uganda has returned with 7 medals from the World Schools Games in France. 2 gold medals, 1 silver and 4 medals, all from athletics, put Uganda 19th overall at the games that attracted the whole world. Chekwemoe Lois and Chebet Maureen won gold for Uganda. Victor Cheroik won silver and bronze, while Priscilla Akelo won silver. Uganda took participants in badminton, basketball, athletics, and other sports disciplines, only to win medals in athletics. Focus is now on the East African Games later this year.
You are young. Winning, I told you, do your best. That's our principle. Do your best. If your best makes you a champion, we celebrate. If your best makes you number 7, we celebrate. The question is, did you do your best? Securing our future is not just a slogan. It's not just a statement. It's a responsibility and an activity to do. And as the president promised to secure our future, there's no better way of securing future than investing into the future.
I note that the attention of government to sports in the recent has tripled, and now we can discuss matters of sport development at all levels of government, which has not been there before. I note that we are now moving forward because we have given all the justification to government to provide the resources required for development. I note Honorable Member of Parliament is here, but while away, I received already the report of additional funding to the subsector. I also
We thank you so much for watching. That is all we had for you at this particular moment. We'll get a bigger arrangement at 10 p.m. Please keep there. My name is Michael John and Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. Let's get you at 10 p.m. For now, bye-bye.